Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that you can learn better and I can learn more effectively as well. In this video, I'm going to go through a coaching session. I'm going to share it with you that I did with Marcel P, who just hit rank 1 NA, partially because Setsuko, I think, ran it down. But nonetheless, I had a very insightful coaching conversation with Marcel where we do a deep dive into a talk that Guthers from MetaTFT did with the TFT Coaching Plus program that ASA runs. He did a talk last night, and then Marcel kind of summarized his takeaways from the conversation, specifically some big insights on how to better parse data and do deep dives into data. So if you want to jump into that section of the video, take a look in the timestamp in the description below. We also go and talk about um, how to prepare for tournaments when they are kind of a week and a half or 2 weeks out, especially after a new patch. Since I'm in a position now where I can kind of sit with my LP and qualify for the Tacticians Trials 3, which is kind of the first time in my kind of competitive TFT history where I've been able to do this. In the past, I've had to kind of play much closer to Snapshot in order to qualify. So I posed the question to him how he kind of preps for tournaments further in advance. And then finally, we go into and by the way, you can take a look at the timestamp if that part interests you specifically. And then finally, we do a VoD review of Robinsongz, since Robin's doing pretty well in the patch, I believe. Yeah, plus 392 LP. So out of all the players in the top 10, he's been doing the best. He's also been playing the most games. But we VoD review one of his games and do kind of a deep dive analysis into that. And then we also do like try to apply some of the stats analysis that we kind of talked about from the Gunther's summary and apply it to certain situations across different comps. And if you want to dive into that, we actually did a deep dive into how good Void Staff versus Spark is in certain comps versus other comps. And there's actually one comp in particular that's especially better with Spark as opposed to Void Staff. So you want to be able to look into that analysis. Also, take a look in the timestamp in the description below. So there's a lot of really great content in this coaching session with Marcel. It covers a lot of different things across the board. But either way, I just want to say congrats to Marcel. He's been a huge help for me in helping coach me to the point where I'm qualifying for these tournaments where I can comfortably sit now, regularly getting into the top 100 in NA. And he's been working super hard, and this is a well deserved rank 1 placement for him. So I would definitely encourage you to get to know Marcel better. Take a look at this coaching video, and I hope you learn as much from it as I did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy this coaching session with Marcel. I was just curious, high level, like what your takeaways from that talk were, and like if there's any like shifts that it would affect kind of your process or like how you go about looking at stats. Like what are your kind of highest impact learnings that you will maybe change how you research or like kind of look at stats?
Yeah. There are a few things for sure. I'll be defaulting to using advanced mode. I don't know how big a difference it will really. And I think for smaller sample size stuff, I can understand it making a difference. But that's one. I don't know how impactful that one will be.
Mm-hmm.
Second is and that's for specifically for things where I know that it'll be like lower on sample size, like 3 item builds, artifacts, stuff like that. Um, and then the bigger things I think are one. Really making sure I use the games tab when I do a explorer search, because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really easy to miss. The really good example he brought up was Void Staff Annie, which looks so good in the stats.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you like make sure to filter out things like 6 golden ox.
Do you mind
Um,
just driving really quick and kind of showing me what you're talking about?
oh yeah, sure. Let me share my screen real quick. 1 second. Uh, Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. Void Staff looks insane in the stats on this unit. Here, I think even second Void Staff looks really good. Where did that? Yeah, second Void Staff and Void Staff both look really good, like minus 0.6, yeah, on any. And I think I've even heard players, like for example, Beppo, who's a one-trick amp player, like literally only amp, has mentioned many times how good this item is on any. I assume because of the stat. But this is super misleading. If you just look through the way Guthers showed, let's see, you look through games. Let's say we do Void Staff Annie.
One thing I did a filter on, because I was looking at this specific thing too. If you filter 6 Gox versus not 6 Gox, there's a huge difference on the Void Staff.
Yeah, this is exactly the point I'm trying to get to. Is that if you use the games tab like this, so let's say what you should always use. Basically, one of my big takeaways from the talk is always use this tab to sanity check that your search. Like you don't have to, like basically you just said like, oh, if you remove 6 golden ox, then it changes this, right? Now, if you didn't think to remove 6 golden ox, how are you supposed to know to remove 6 golden ox? And I think the answer here is use this games tab, because you want to make sure that when you're doing an any search, you have in mind a comp, right? And obviously you can like put it all in the filter here, but oftentimes you don't do that, or you forget to, or you miss doing it for whatever reason. And the games tab is what can save your ass, because this is basically like live debugging, right? What we're seeing here is all of a sudden you have, oh, wait, I forgot to exclude Inferi 3. I forgot to exclude Yumi 3. I forgot to exclude, if I scroll further down, Graves 3, 6 Golden Ox, 6 Golden Ox. And this games tab is your savior, basically, to make sure that you are getting the results you want from your query, right? So now from doing this, I can, I think there's even, I don't know if there's a way to like click this and like include, but basically what I'm going to do now is say, okay, now let's do Nefiri 3, 6 Golden Ox, exclude. And now let's see what happens. Let's get rid of Void Staff and Annie. And now let's look at the items. And I think the second Void Staff thing goes away at least. Let's see, where's this Void Staff? I mean, it's gotten lower, but I don't know. Maybe if you look at GameStat, maybe there's still something else that'll. Oh, I think maybe Yumi 3 is a big thing to remove. There's also 4 Golden Ox showing up here. Maybe there's people who played 6 and then dropped to 4, and Graves 3 is still showing up here, right? So now if I remove this, I don't want Graves at all, right? I'm thinking of Amp, right? And let's say I remove I could include 5 amp here. I guess it would probably make it easiest, but let's say I'm not doing that. And what was the other thing I said? Yumi 3, because I want to have games where Annie is like the main star. No Yumi 3, the main carry. Yeah, and now Void Staff is no longer like insane. It's just good, but it's not. It's worse than Blue Buff, which intuitively makes sense. But like the stats were indicating otherwise before doing this, right? And without doing this whole games tab thing, it's not very easy to. It's a lot easier to use the games tab and figure out what is going wrong with your search than it is to sit here and think about it. Is my main takeaway. This is basically like live debugging. Like using just the search query is like, I don't know if you ever dabbled in coding, but it's like coding and never actually running your code.
Yeah,
you're writing your code here as your query, and then you just look at the output of your code. You're looking at, I guess, like I don't know about the analogy in terms of what this is, but like the games tab is basically like a really, really good way to debug.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, you can still see are there things I'm still missing from this query. It looks like now these are all like basically the boards I want. There are some Anima Squad games which have Annie randomly in it, but now it's basically all 5 amp, right? And now, yeah, the items are Void Staff, or the stats of Void Staff make sense. And I assume second Void Staff, second Void Staff is trash, right? The only reason this showed up as good in the stats is that these are like when you drop a bunch of components from 6 Golden Ox and you're just spam creating items every turn, right? That's another main takeaway. There are a couple others which are like very specific things, but I think are super useful. I had a question about her specific comps, how to find out the best emblems, and I think it's a lot of work to do this in the Explorer, but there's just like a really fast way. I don't know if Tactics.Tools has this, but I didn't know this existed in this. But for example, in Bastion Morgana, is Bastion Crest better or Dynamo Crest? I would think Bastion. And actually, there's like a really quick way. You just go to custom.
Oh
You can
yeah,
actually find out.
yeah. I've
that,
been using this for a while.
Oh, I didn't know this existed. So I'll be using
Although
this a
I
lot.
still actually prefer using the Explorer to get to that, because sometimes they include like data in this data set that like maybe shouldn't belong in it, especially for like the fringe, like maybe more so for like Elise, like Dynamo Flex line, where I don't know what data they're including in this comp package.
Yeah. I think if the comp is very cookie cutter, then this is very useful. If it's less cookie cutter, then yeah, it's not.
But like cookie cutter on Explorer, I'll do like Poppy 3, Morg 3, and then just go to the emblem tab in Explorer, and it basically gives you the same results.
Yeah, I think it just saves you a lot of time, and I think a big thing is that there are a lot of stuff that you will not like really get to unless you're truly doing a super deep dive.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that I mentioned in my doc were like how broken Dynamo emblem is on Varus, and even Vanguard emblem, I think, in this comp. Let me see if these show up in here. Dino emblem really good, is insane, right? Yeah. The other one, I guess Vanguard doesn't show up that as being that good, but yeah, this is one that I easily miss. I didn't know until someone had told me about it. It was Raptor that had told me how broken this was in this comp. I think he's even willing to play this when you don't even have like good Vex items. You just carry your Varus and you figure your items out later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was another main one. I think there's another way in Explorer here that he showed, which I'm not sure. I haven't tested this yet, but like I forget. It's like if you do let's see, like 5 amp. There's +1 traits. This is another way to do it in the Explorer without having to
So this is always based off of emblem, the +1 traits?
This is based off of emblems, dummies, and golems.
Okay.
So you can even see like no +1 traits, which is a really nice filter, right? Like it helps you know how required it is really to have. I guess the thing with no +1 traits is that it also like includes like, oh, this means you didn't get to a super end game carousel where you didn't get an emblem. So like for 5 amp, for example, you obviously know that you don't really need a +1, but this will basically catch all the games where you don't survive super long, because some late game carousels, some percentage of these games that is non-trivial, it can be 10-20%. You'll get to a strategist emblem on an end game carousel, right? So this +1 traits, basically like a faster way to find +1 trait stuff is like another takeaway I have. And then this, I don't know if this exists in Tactics tools, but the other thing he showed, I think, is super useful for queries, which is in the same vein as like figuring out if no +1 traits is good for a comp, is this any artifact. So any radiant item, any artifact, you can remove. You can like have this as a negative filter or a positive filter to figure out like, oh, is Graves actually good without artifact, right? Graves 3-star, 3 item. We know this comp is like only good in high elo. We know this just by, if you like look at the filters here, the AVP. Wait, oh, it's actually changing a lot, but somehow there's a way to see that like the stats got a lot better when you looked at higher elo.
That makes sense when people didn't know about Graves, but now that people are optimizing it, Gux is probably broke completely. I mean, I've just been abusing it on my Smurf too, like.
Yeah, maybe it's theory. Oh, this is the last 7 days, but yeah, nonetheless, I still think that even at higher, where was this filter? Yeah, maybe it's more figured out now. If you do last 3 days, is this still true? If you do like, yeah, I guess it's already like getting figured out at every elo, but you can figure out, is this comp still as good without artifacts? Yeah, and yes, the answer is yes, right? Like it's possible you believe that this comp is so busted with artifact. Radiant items are also insane for this comp, and it doesn't matter. You can still play this without either. Right?
What if you switch that to like what is a comp that we would assume is bad without artifact, like Shaco or Rengar maybe?
Fiddle is probably the best one.
Okay,
Right?
yeah. Just curious, like
Fiddle
see.
3. Will this show? Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
sanity check for sure. Let's get rid of this.
3.4.
Yeah, it drops.
Okay.
It drops by a bit, right? This is assuming Fiddle 3. So if you do Fiddle 3 items, I think this is probably an even better check. Fiddle 3 items. Yeah, it drops by 0.1, right? So like I said, it's a good way to sanity check. Like if you truly believe this to be the case, which I think many people do, then this is like a good baseline of okay, if it drops by 0.1, then that is significant. Right. That's as significant at least as what you believe about Fiddle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another one could be Rengar, right? Rengar. I'm curious how this shows for Rengar and Shaco. This is Rengar 3 item.
Yeah, much bigger.
Yeah, 0.14, and then Shaco 3 item.
Oh, that's big.
0.2. So actually, Shaco and Rengar are more item. Are more. Oh, you can also do any emblem. So if you go back to Fiddle, this is another one, right? How good is +1 the Bruiser or Boombot, right? Any emblem, which is also a really good filter. I don't know how to do in Tactics.
Yeah.
3 item.
Whoa.
Wow, that's
It's
crazy.
far
Okay,
more emblem impacted than artifact.
the emblem thing is fake because to some degree, because you can get these from late game carousels again, right? So this is also filtering out any scenario where people in late game and carousels pick up emblems, right? So you'd have to do a baseline of this with other comps as well. So this jump is 0.58, and then now we can say I don't know, Shaco, who is not very emblem dependent. I would think it helps, but it's not like a crazy. Wow, that's insane though. The difference between Fiddle and Shaco is that big.
Huh. That's already very interesting.
I can believe it though, because for Fiddle, if you get a Bruiser emblem, it allows you to fit 4 Boombot very easily, and 4 Boombot is a massive DPS boost to your board because you're carrying Cho and Fiddle, and then your other Boombot unit is Urgot, who's insanely good as well, and that's usually how you win games.
Yeah.
Whereas with no emblem, it's really hard to get 4 Boombot on your board.
Cool.
This is another main takeaway. What's up?
No, this is super cool. I guess my only gripe, and I don't know if you have the opportunity to give Gunther this feedback, is I feel like tactics tools, if you are trying to live look up stats in game, I get errors on MetaTFT all the time, and it's so slow. Whereas tactics tools is like way faster.
I have gotten errors as well on like tactics on Meta Explore on both, but I do agree that I've also gotten errors on Meta TFT more. We did not get to give them that feedback, but I mean that's a big piece of feedback. I think I'm
like there needs to be some performance optimization done there.
Is it actually? Let's see. So like yeah, I guess it's intermittent, right? It doesn't happen all the time, so it's hard to like see it right now, but. Yeah, I know what you're saying though. I feel like there are times where I get like an empty result or like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down to send in that feedback because there's so many cool features in this, and I guess it feels more powerful. A lot of the features are kind of hidden or things that you wouldn't know, so it's useful to have him chat through them. But and there's also something about I don't know what it is, the font or just not being used to like the look of it, but like somehow the tactics tools Explorer, to my eyes, are still like,
I actually prefer Meta TFT, but I have lately been almost like somewhat trying to switch to tactics because of this speed issue and the error issue.
Oh really? Oh okay. That's That's good feedback to give to Guthers for sure, because I'm forcing myself to get on Meta TFT. Just
oh yeah, like when I'm doing slow data analysis, I think it's way more powerful.
But during a game, you're saying is when you find tactics. Yeah, okay. I'll let him know. And then let's see. Are there other stuff that he mentioned? No, there's one other one. I like this a lot. This actually lined up pretty closely with what I've been hearing about items in
Oh, okay. I
general.
heard him talk about this one. I actually heard this idea from Water Park Tactics. He actually drew a curved line uh, from like bottom left
Oh,
to
got it.
top right.
Yeah. This is super useful because I feel like what is pretty eye opening to me is that this lines up with what people are saying, and it sort of didn't. I didn't truly trust people's overall opinions on some of these items and how bad some of these items are. Good examples being, let's do. Yeah, I think Master is a good filter. Maybe Diamond have a little more data. These guys aren't that bad. It reaffirms how bad Nasher and Declaw are, and to a lesser extent, Rageblade a little bit. Yeah, Nasher has already been like, there's no unit that really wants this except for Annie. It's not even good for your early game. It's so tied to another item, Shojin or blue buff. And then Declaw, people have been shitting on this item for a while now because none of the AP users really get blocked by it. I don't know if you heard my spiel on this during the video.
The true damage effects. How come
And
Brand doesn't?
then
I guess Brand
what's
does
up?
AoE anyway, so it's like not as effective.
Yeah, it's AoE, and then it often like the splash damage can kill your backline anyway,
Right.
without going to through the Declaw, right? So they're very few, if not almost. It's like Varus, and even Varus with Hyperfangs goes through your unit, right? So then
Ziggs does AoE as well. Yeah.
yeah, Ziggs is AoE. There's no unit that's truly affected by this. Other examples of items that are like that stand out. Warmogs is so insanely good. Stoneplate is better than I would have guessed. I think there are better users this set than previous sets, and I think people had wrote this off as a bad item in previous sets, but it's not bad this set. At least this patch, it's not bad. But I think
I
I'll be using this a
heard
little more.
in the talk that was there's I think this may have been where I stopped listening. Like whether Gunther would suggest a diagonal like line or a curved line through this, because Water Park Tactics did a curved line, like a hyperbolic line, whereas like just a linear line, like I don't know.
I think Asa asked the question, and like he sort of punted on. He's like, "Oh, I'm not sure. It's probably just a straight line." He didn't really give like a very thorough answer. I wouldn't know as well what line to draw for this, but yeah, I would just tend to look at outliers is what all I would do. I feel like I still wouldn't even trust this to like really closely say, "Oh, blue buff is so much better than." Or JG is better than blue buff. Like, God, these are all everything in the middle is kind of the same to me in my mind, but outliers would really kind of stand out, or at least like when things line up with what people are saying. People say Declaw is bad and it shows up down here. People say Nasher is bad and it shows up down here. That's two pretty strong data points. So in my mind, yeah, this is awful. Sterax also, as people have been saying, it's super busted because it gives you like almost 2 items worth of an effect, and true enough, it shows up as pretty good here as well. Very good here as well.
I feel like a lot of people have been saying Kraken's is very good, but it looks pretty shitty on this curve.
Oh, it's only good early. I think it's only good early game. I think you almost feel like you're down an item late game unless you're playing it on rapid fire because you don't proc it that much. Like there aren't that many units that actually like this, right? Like it would be Aphelios with Rageblade, and even then it doesn't seem that good because he already has flat AD. Right. And then the only units that really like it then are it's like Kog'Maw with Rageblade. I think that's fine, right? Kog'Maw with Rageblade, like Kog'Maw 3. And then it's really good for tempo. I've won streak many games with Kraken. And then Zeri and rapid fire comps is especially 6 rapid fire. I think there's a tip on data TFT mentioning like Renekton with rapid fire can be very good at Krakens because when he ults, like his 3 auto thing procs it 3 times. So it's good there, but like these are all pretty niche, right? Like all other AD units in Misfortune, Zaya, Zed, Senna, these units all hate this item. Urgot, I don't think Urgot's that amazing with this as well.
I think it's okay in the stats when I looked at it because Urgot's ability also gives him massive attack speed for like a burst where he can get a bunch of stacks.
I just feel like it's slow for his fights with Boombot. Where if you really want to win the game with Boombot, you're typically like 4 Boombot and trying to end fights fast. But and so it feels a little slow in that end. But I don't think it's awful. Yeah, I guess in God, it's just not amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's an early game item, so like it's similar to what Rageblade was before, right? Where it's insanely good early, it falls off late. So one of those items. But then again, it's very good on. I guess it's very similar to Rageblade because Rageblade also like, fell off late game on every unit except for the units that loved it, and that's the same thing with Krakens. Except it's healthier in that you don't like double stack it with like double Krakens, right?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Any other learnings?
I think that's basically all the main ones that I remember.
Okay.
There were some stuff he said on like figuring out if a unit was better item holder or like choosing between two different units as item holder. But I don't know. I feel like I'd already had that in mind. I guess he was doing yeah, he was doing things like at least three item versus Aurora was one of my questions.
Mm-hmm.
And like doing like what is better? Is it Elise as 3 item, Elise 2 or Aurora 1? And I think for this as well, it is very useful to use the games filter. This is another like back to like what I was saying earlier, but like here I want to know what's better, Elise 2 or Aurora 1. And here we have Elise 3 item and Aurora 2 item, so 4.6. And then if we do Elise 2 item or 1 3 item, this shows Aurora as slightly better. But then if you look at the games tab, this will show you like everything is like playing on 5 cost. This is what Asa was pointing out. These are all like 5 cost boards. And if you do the reverse, these are all 4 costs. These are all like non 5 cost boards. This is like a small sample though of the units. So the best way to like truly like do a fair comparison is to fix the level, I think. So if you do like level 8, level 9, maybe, then you can see a better comparison. And here at least looks a lot better. But yeah, it's just like a lesson in making sure like when you're doing these comparisons to use the games tab again, and then to fix the level, to make sure like you're not looking at two very different sort of game plans, right? Like the one game plan with Elise not level 9 is potentially people that missed Elise 3 that are just sitting there dying. And the Aurora 3 item is the people that tried to go fast 9, right? That missed Aurora 2. And you're comparing like two very different scenarios.
Can you look up I'm just trying to figure out how to put this into practice more. Like I think it was the question that who did that talk on Jinx 2 versus Samir 1 in Street Team?
Oh yeah. That's a good question. 7 Street. We have Samira. Samira 1, right? With 3 item versus Jinx with 3 item, right? So this is Samira 1 3 item, 4.69. Oh, I assume the issue here is that this is gonna find people that died without finding Samira, and I feel like if you have Samira, you're just more likely to go into to like have made it into late game. Like basically, the question here is more so on stage
level
4.
9. Is it stage 4?
The issue I think is on stage. The issue is the question is on stage 4 who is better, and the thing is this cannot answer that. This is good. Basically, I can almost promise you that this is going to show that Jinx is a lot worse, no matter what. This is saying in your end game board. Yeah, I would do this, right? Yeah, and you do this. It's so much better, but like this is fake, right?
Right.
Yeah, because you can get Samira off of like late game carousels. It just means you got later into the game.
Okay, so this still can only answer end game scenarios.
Yeah, exactly. So just something to keep in mind. Maybe if you did level 9, yeah, we can try. Like this helps for sure. Level 9.
You didn't get to Samira 2.
Like if you include Brand 2 and Nico 2, then I'm kind of down to like analyze this a little. So this is saying Samira 1 level 9, right? Oh, wait, you see that?
Yeah,
it's actually
it's 2 better.
It actually kind of fixed it. Not fixed it, but like it made it an interesting question now, right? This is saying that Jinx is a lot better. That's wild.
Huh.
Let's do more data. More data. let's remove plat because it's plat. All right. So this is like same amount of data.
Oh, now it's very close.
Now it's like the same. It's actually a hard question. I think it just depends on the items, right? And so like if it's probably like things like blue buff Shojin, then Jinx is really good. And if it's things like if it's IE, you don't play Jinx. If it's Shojin, strikers, and like the blue buff is gonna be like it's not bad. But then if it's more like IE, then you probably want Samira, is my guess. Yeah. And Shojin is not good. So it depends on the items. Is what this is saying, which I can sort of believe this now.
The level filter seems like the way to get around this end game board issue. Versus like
if you're truly trying to compare, like I think this is very specific to like 3 cost units versus 5 cost units, because this allows you to sort of remove the games that people are chasing Jinx 3 and missed, right? Because if you get to level 9, you already know people like sort of gave up on that plan, or they're trying to hit on 9, which I think is fair to do. Whereas the alternative is people sat level whatever 7 and died on 2-star. I wish they had like a died by certain stage filter. You can say just remove games where people died by, I don't know, before 5-2. But the level basically tries to get around that, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty sure if you're getting to level 9, you got past 4-2 or 4-5 usually.
Yeah, I guess level 9 sort of helps that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the last one here, I guess, is just again using games tab and then level filter to help with these comparisons. I also hadn't done this it's like toggle thing to try to compare units. Like I feel like this is like an easy way to do it quickly. I forget what I was doing before, but it wasn't something like this.
So. Yeah, it'd be cool if there was like a further UI optimization that you could just like click one button, or even you just compare them and then it'll show you the on off.
He was showing this, like bookmarking them, and then you could like see.
I've never used the bookmark.
I haven't used it either. I don't know if I will, but like this is a Samira 7 SD no Jinx, right? Save, sure. And then now if we do boom boom, this is what Jinx, no Samira SD7, sure. And then now you can like very quickly pull them out. If there's more stuff you wanted to add, right, or like to look through, then you have them saved. Not that I really want these. I'll just delete them.
Yeah, I would use the bookmarks as just a replacement for the comps page.
Yeah, I think I likely, assuming I don't get really annoyed by the issue you're saying, which is that it sucks for live searches or like it fails a lot, then I will invest more into building this out.
Because you have, I think I saw you had bookmarks for tactics tools, right? For like,
yeah,
like basically the equivalent of that in MetaTFT.
More reroll, yeah. But actually, this doesn't have That's actually what I like about doing this unit comparison. I can't remove it. I can't toggle this on and off. Right? In MetaTFT, I can do this whole I didn't go there, but I can do the toggle on and off. If I have like Morgana 3 versus who's the unit? Aurora 2.
There is like, exclude below, so you would just have to. It requires way more manipulation.
Yeah, exactly. And so I like this this toggle thing, which is what I was saying. You just do this.
Can you do level on tactics tools? And like any artifact, any?
I don't know if there's any artifact. Exclude artifact? I don't think so.
Okay.
There are level filters here.
Oh, I see.
But these are only fixed level filters. Whereas I don't know if when I use it, but MetaTFT has like min and max
ranges. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how useful that would be, honestly, but like yeah, it's just a more in general more powerful.
Yeah.
But I guess there are drawbacks.
I think part of the reason it's slower is probably because it's more powerful. He's like doing way more stuff behind the scenes.
It's always hard to say.
Or
It's
he could
very
just
possible
be
it's a
doing
random
poor
data.
performance.
Yeah, it's always hard to say with perf issues in tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like majority of the stuff that I thought was super useful.
Okay, cool. That's
in this
helpful.
talk.
Maybe I'll just post that. Let's see. I think I'll still go through his video, but okay.
Cool.
I guess other question I had is, given that I've been keeping an eye on the snapshot and it hasn't really been moving, so I think I should be good for the next trials.
You're 1,030, right? I think
Yeah.
1,030 LP. I think it should be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would be quite surprised if that wasn't good enough.
So I guess overall, like, it's great. Like, this is the first time I've been able to just sit this far in advance. I think the question I posed for you is I think next trials is played next weekend, so it'll be on the next patch, I believe, right? Like 14.5 was last Wednesday, so yeah, it'll be on new patch. How do you approach, I guess, tourney prep when you are like sitting, I guess, and you know that the next tournament you're playing in is going to be on a new patch? Does that affect how you approach the tournament prep?
I played in one trials in like the last year. It was recently though. It was the first trials of this set, and I did fine. I'm trying to think through. I mean, I just the moment the patch notes came out, I definitely spent a lot of time chatting with people about like what I thought the meta would be like, and tried to spam as many games as I could. Because the annoying thing with trials is it's always like just a few days after the patch, right? But there were people. I think there are sometimes people doing scrims on PBE. That's something you could look into. Let's see what else. Yeah, I mean the week before when you're still on the old patch, I mean I spam a lot of games, right? So I would say I guess the thing is you're trying to sit on your main, but you only have to sit until Sunday. You only have to sit until Sunday, right?
Right.
So as soon as Sunday is up, is done, you can spam games on your main account again, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been climbing with my Smurf. I played 2, 4, 6. I don't know how many games I played. 9 games. I'm averaging at 1.7. So like, hopefully, I'll get that account up faster.
It takes a while though.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what your AVP is, it takes forever. And so it's still, I think it's just motivating in my mind, at least for me, to know that you're getting, as long as you're like making sure you're getting quality reps, keeping yourself honest, and not just like being really lazy about your games, not scouting to look, who's contesting you, like not playing it as if they're meaningless games, which ultimately they are. But if you don't treat them like that, I think the reps are still very good. I think it's very useful in knowing what doesn't work. So when you play a game plan and it doesn't work in that elo, you know for sure it's very unlikely to work in high elo.
Yeah.
Right. And then the alternative is also good when someone beats you with some line and you feel like you didn't low roll or play poorly. You also learn, oh, what they did is likely like not bad. Right. So those are also like more learnings you tend to get out of yeah, it helps you red flag like bad strategies that you had. But when you do well with a line, you can't truly say, right, if it actually is a valid line. But nonetheless, you try to just get whatever squeeze whatever juice you can out of it. The good ones being like good examples being big roll downs and trying to play from one life and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. I have found that like playing on the Smurf, I think part of it is just having the bandwidth. I think I'm able to, because my intent going into every game is that I'm playing for first, whereas I think when I'm playing at the normal elo I'm at, I'm not holding that mindset all the time. I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to get a top 4, not trying to get a first. But I have noticed that when I am playing for first, especially since I'm trying out that methodology that I mentioned to you, where I'm writing down what every opponent I think is going, but then in stage, I guess I'm trying to at like 3-3 and 4-3 specifically, write down the opponents that I think have the biggest, are basically the biggest threat for placing first, and then I'm
Yeah.
very actively like scouting them and seeing how where their spot is and where my spot is, how I can better like target them basically, and like whether or not that means I need to greed more or whether I need to beat them in a specific round like that's coming up. Whereas I think when I'm playing normally, I like never did that before.
Yeah, and the thing is, you should be doing it in general. And I think I noticed that the really high win rate players, being Wajan, Dish Soap, Setsuko, do it every game regardless of their placement. They do it a lot more than I do. I know that for sure because every game they're just noticing like this guy is winning out, this guy is playing for fifth, this guy, they like know everyone's spot relative to their own placement and how things might affect. Like, should I deny them on carousel? Am I changing my game plan based on these people's spots? And they're optimizing their placements a lot based on that. So it's good reps for sure. And if you can try to get that mentality in your main games, which is hard because I don't do it as well as these other players do, then it can definitely help. Yeah. So it's yeah, I guess it's really good in that regard where you're really paying attention to other people because you're trying to play for first. And I think just if you can convince yourself that at the end of the day, it actually is just it's just placement optimization, period. Right? It actually is not. It has nothing to do with playing for a first. It has everything to do with just you're optimizing your placement, right? And maybe it's because of your ego and my ego at a Smurf account is that you feel like you must get first, and so it forces you to optimize your placement. The reality is it's nothing special optimizing for first versus optimizing for third versus optimizing for just wherever you should be placing based on your relative spot in the lobby.
Yeah, it's just so hard to like. It's so much easier to have this binary state of like, okay, is this person playing for first or not? Is that person playing for first or not? And then
Yeah,
you can
agree.
just
You can rule out more people.
yeah.
And only
Whereas
focus on the few.
I think what you're talking about is like playing Bortle, but like live, and like you're still trying to do other stuff, and you're trying to like stack rank the entire lobby relative to each other.
I agree. It's definitely easier for sure. To do just like binary. Yeah, that is a really good point as to why it's way easier.
I guess you can do it for like who's going to place worse than you as like kind of a then maybe it's just like who can cap out higher than you. So maybe just relative placement to you as opposed to okay.
That's what I noticed Setsuko do very well is like this. I like, oh, I'm fighting. I can maybe outplace this guy. Robin does this as well. I can outplace this guy. I can outplace this guy. I'm never outplacing this guy. I'm never outplacing this guy. So it's simple. And then now you're just focusing on the guys that you are fighting with, right? And this allows you to hold their units, allows you to, and also just allows you to know who to grief, right? Like a lot of times, it's easy to fall into the trap of just griefing whoever is easiest, who is most obvious to grief. Someone is going for a 3-star forecast. Someone is going for rerolling TF. Let's just hold all TFs. But if in reality you're not even fighting them for placement, you're just wasting your brain power, right?
Yeah.
And if anything, if you're going to lose econ to hold those units, it's actively bad for you. Whereas the alternative is you should go out of your way to even maybe roll and deny units for someone that you're directly fighting when you're both in 1 life or 2 lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I noticed at this lower elo is, I mean, 3-star forecasts are a lot more common, which still happen at like my normal elo, but I think at my normal elo, I would only really pay attention to that in the really late game. And now
people hold all sorts of stuff in a low elo.
Yeah, at lower elo, I'm like, from the moment I'm predicting who has a higher cap than me, I basically know I have them beat. So then I'm just like, okay, I just gotta make sure I deny 3-star forecasts.
It's actually so annoying because they can be level 7, level 8, they're already holding all their excess, even though they have 0 gold. They're holding 5 Zeds at 0 gold with like the rest of their board not even upgraded. It's like, bro, what are you? This guy's Hail Marrying his Z3 with no reason to play Hail Mary, but I mean they are. So
that and Pandora's Bench. That's
my god.
Yeah. So many of my second places were because someone like Hail Mary Pandora's Bench 3-star forecast.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I feel your pain in that.
Okay. All right, cool. That's all the questions I got. You want to do a VOD review?
Yeah, I'm down. I guess the other thing is just with the times you lose to these players that are, are worse than your main elo, and you look at what strategy they use, it's also good. I mean, not that you should feel like you have that gap with any other player, but if you ever feel inferior to another player, you can employ the same strategy. It's still good learning, right? You can then, if I'm playing against Tidal and Dish Soap and Setsuko in a lobby, fuck it. I'm going to Pandora's Bench and scam the hell out of them. Because that's how I learned from these gold players that beat me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do any preference on Robin or Wei Jin?
Not really. You could pick.
Let's do Robin.
Okay.
Is he still? Let me look at his scores. Are his scores still good? Yes. 4-1-3-2-2-3-5-3.
All right.
Wei Jin scores are 1-5-2-1-1-3-5-6. They're about the same. Let's do Robin. Okay.
And Setsuko also ran it up, right? Like, what happened with him? I feel like he was in the
Oh yeah, he's
dumpster
ranked
for a
one now.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is he has no VODs on Twitch. I think they get a copyright strike a lot because he just plays whatever music.
Yeah.
Does he have his current one on actually? If he does, I'm down to watch
He
this.
has
I don't.
a YouTube from 2 days ago, so I don't know if you want to look for something that's more recent.
Not to just let's just do Robin's then because we can look at literally the games today. Yeah. Okay. We start from the start, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably do like a game or two, and then let's see how quickly we go, and then call it there.
Okay.
But this one is pretty strong lobby, and anvil component anvil. Does he check his thing? And he's streaming, so maybe he misses some stuff. He checks here. Oh, did he check? Not quite. I assume you're already. Are you? How much are you playing or valuing Morgana this patch?
Morgana and what was it Kog'Maw? I'm valuing a lot.
Or so I mean Morgana reroll because I feel like this
Oh,
spot I'm already like very likely
yeah.
thinking Morgana. Like
I
I'm
haven't
thinking
really
really much.
played Morgana, but I would
Oh
angling it. I would angle it if in this spot. Yeah.
yeah. I would recommend playing it. I think it's still really good, really good.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
you
he's
can
just
always go from this into what we talked about, right? Like the Dynamo Flex.
yes, but with these units, I think it's like with this opener, like you poppy, you can like level and just slam AP items. One thing I will say is people are playing the line a lot more, so it's becoming sometimes like taking you a little longer to find the Elise 2. Aurora 2 is becoming harder and harder to find. MF is the biggest one. MF feels so contested now, and it's a big part of like truly stabilizing is the MF2 in some games, and so the line has been feeling a little bit lower EV. So which is why, like, if you know you're uncontested Morgana and your spot is this good, like, I think the main condition for this comp is having items. Obviously, units matter, but like items, I think matters more. And with Anvil, it matters a lot. So like,
Yeah. So trade sector probably have these three.
yeah, I still don't like it, but yeah, it would be trade sector out of these three for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just take this. I mean, it allows you to roll in level 3. Like, this is pretty good. I'd probably roll next turn. Yeah, I'm not for pop both. And
Vest or Vest probably.
yeah, I like
Stone
chain
play
here. Chain is just like the
or
best component for Poppy.
actually
Rod is also doable, but I like chain. Yeah.
is it stone play or is it steadfast? Steadfast is a better item, right? But
Yeah, I think I go steadfast for
and then
what's it called?
cloak.
Item for item economy, just because glove is not good in this line unless
Yeah.
it's steadfast. So I would do steadfast and no slam.
Yeah, we just want to lose to get carousel priority. Oh,
Looks like he goes stone plate, which is interesting to me. Yeah, I would have gone steadfast, but let's see. I assume he rolls this turn as well. Okay. He should be playing Shyvana here over Jax, but it's fine. I'm trying to think how much I would care about losing these rounds. I mean, given he won the first round, I'm fine to try to go for a 2 streak. And then now, oh, is he holding? No way, right? Okay, he's not holding Nitro. Now I would look at the people below and try to int for tier if needed. If needed. Yeah, it looks like he's not. But like, for example, if Draynox is going for tier, I would probably int this round. Would you take a pan or spat here?
No, probably take tier first, and then. I mean, we would need a belt as well, right? And we still need to finish all our core items, so probably would not.
Is it even belt here? I feel like belt is I feel like gunblade is more important than belt. But the thing is, sword is also suspicious to take.
I'm saying if you got a pan, you would need the. It's belt, right? Or am I misremembering?
It's chain. It's chain
Oh,
or
it's
tier.
chain.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
chain or
okay.
tier if you get one.
So
Assuming we don't get tier. Oh, this is a good one now. I don't know what he takes here.
now
Elise is
gunblade
pretty
or
good.
Elise.
Taking a sword is just so okay.
I mean, it's probably Elise now, right? I guess it could be rod.
Elise or rod or chain, I think are
But it's a
fine.
1-cost rod. Aim for steadfast.
And chain is just you can use a million chains in this
Yeah.
comp. You can use like 2 more. So I don't mind the chain. Also kills the glove, steadfast. Okay. We're rolling every turn, which makes sense. Elise, very good. Okay. Good streak. Drops a sword. Oh, okay. What is this?
He didn't roll the
He didn't.
tier.
Yeah, he didn't roll his tier. You could just make Archangel. Oh, Morello. Yeah, Morello's good as well. Yeah, Morello's better, I think.
And then he just wants that tier to become another vest, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, and then roll 33. Is that what you do here as well? I assume so. Yeah. I would, depending on Exo, I would probably not. I guess Jin is your next in. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Because if your Exo is good, sometimes I prefer Jin plus Mordekaiser on level 5.
Is rolling 33 always the most cost effective if you are like not close?
It just gets you a lot of copies, and it doesn't cost you that much, right? It costs you 3 gold. You go 30, and then 40, and then 50. So the main thing is I think you really want to roll 33 if you don't have, if any of your units are not 2-starred, you're rolling for board strength.
Yeah.
Right? Like not even just a 3-star, but just to have upgrades to be strong. And then if they're already all upgraded, which is he is here.
Yeah, sometimes I would just stop here. Like I would definitely roll under 50 to hit the 2 stars, but then sometimes I'd just stop at like 40.
But this is like it's only costing you. If you stop 40, I guess it's costing you 2 gold, right? To roll to 33 as opposed to stopping on 40, because you would make 30 this turn and then 40 and then 50 versus 40 and then 50. And so the question is that 2 gold worth it to roll down? I think it still is, because the other thing he's still rolling for here is what? It's a +1, right? He has no +1. Does he have the gen already? Here he's 40 here. He has no gen, right? He has no gen. He has no other 2-star unit to play on level 5, right?
Okay, so it's less about Morgana and Poppy and more about just finding your next in as well.
I don't think it's less about that. It still very much is about that, but it's just a question of is it worth it to roll, right? And here, I think Morgana and Poppy odds and Jack's odds are good, but there's even more incentive, right? Do you have other reasons to roll? And I think when your answer is yes, I think you just do the default 33. When the answer is no, if everything's truly upgraded, then I think you can consider not doing the default game plan. Yeah, I think Like here, I think it's fair to say the moment he finds the Jin, now we can stop. But at this point, there's no reason to stop because you may as well just because now we're guaranteed making 30, then 40, then 50, right? So you may as well take your better odds here.
Right.
Yeah. I think making this is fine. It makes him a lot stronger for this stage to kill units. What do you like here?
I roll left.
I think so
right
as
side's
well.
Okay. It's not
I said it's
great.
okay, but we already have a lot of items.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of items is good for bulk, but I feel like we already have basically this. But yeah, I like right more than left, I think. He has chain as well, which is so good. Yeah. It's not awful, but I feel like I'd be down for more combat, I think. He rolls right over left. Interesting. Because this would go on jacks, which I mean it's not bad, but I don't think it's that amazing.
He had Archangel with LDP, it'd be pretty good.
LDP blazing. This sounds pretty good because you can proc it on a. I guess it's not that good right now because you're not able to give it to Poppy, and it does give armor and MR. Okay, I think this is best right now.
Yeah, definitely better than left.
It synergizes with Blazing Soul as well, right?
Yeah. You just don't have any AP items built.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. I think this is really good, but is it better than right?
I still like right. Like how much more stats does you do like Radiant Blue, right?
No. It's Radiant. It's always Radiant Stoneplate. I think by far. I'm pretty sure Radiant Stoneplate is easily the best in this comp. Let me see. I think I looked this up fairly recently. Morgana 3, Poppy. Oh, actually, does the I want to see if the comps page has this.
Yeah,
I
comps
don't know if it does.
on the units and items, you just put into
Bastion
the item
Morgana,
search bar, you just type in Radiant.
Radiant. Oh, Gunblade looks better in this page.
Yeah.
I don't wait. I feel like the last time I did it, it was let me look then at the Explorer. Morgana 3, Poppy 3. Last 7 days, sure. 3 item. I thought that it was a Radiant Stoneplate. Let me see.
But like Radiant Life or Hextech Lifeblade is 3.7 on Morgana versus 4.1 for the regular.
It's a big difference.
0.4
I don't know why. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
This is what I remember seeing.
Yeah, this is also why like I don't like the comps
page. Yeah,
because
it kind of maybe we should do more explore because it's hard to really know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this is like you know exactly what's happening.
So if you split regular Stoneplate versus Radiant, I guess part of the question would be trying to calculate the diff between the two, and then trying to calculate 2 gold augment worth how much place diff you think that would give you, right? Or I guess the specific 2 gold augments that we have available.
The main thing I don't like about LDP is that it's like this comp is very positioning dependent. It's extremely. This is like one of the most positioning dependent comps in the game. That's why I'm like hesitant to take LDP. You're wanting the same side against enemies, and then now you have to consider LDP, and it's just so hard.
We could just do Elise and Morgana as well, right?
But then the value is so low. And even then, you can still get fucked. You know, if your Elise is here and Morgana is here, if you have a unit on A2, it's the A2 unit gives it to Morgana, not Elise.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And we have so much frontline that's like very hard to, give it to backline.
It's also probably stronger right now. Like that being said, it's possible Robin takes right here, but I'm just preferring. It also completes your 3rd item here, and it's so strong right now. I guess he's looking at what LDP would give him. Looks like he likes right then. Nope. Wait. Oh, what's he saying?
I just remember Greya in one of his VOD reviews with me said he almost never takes Radiant Refactor. He thinks it's like one of the worst prismatics.
Oh, that's really odd. I've heard many people say it's one of the best in reroll.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray was saying he would only take it off of like you're creating a 1v9 machine like Rengar.
LDP Blazing Soul. Okay, this is actually.
I mean, I think it's really good on like Graves. It's really good on like last set on like the Urgot reroll.
Yeah.
I mean, Raiden
Like
Refractor's
super
pretty
melee
good.
drain tanks that could like
What
1v.
Yeah.
LDP Blazing Soul. Okay, this is actually pretty good.
Let's see if he knows that it's Radiant Stoneplate in the Explorer stats.
I mean, Raiden Refractor is Radiant Gunblade.
Oh, he thinks it's
He makes
Gunblade.
my
Okay.
position kind of weird because I have to like separate my Elise.
Yeah, he has the same thought about LDP.
I'm pretty sure it's Radiant Refractor.
Yeah, he likes this better.
LDP Blazing Soul. I have to like separate my Poppy. I don't want to.
Yeah, I think it's just left here. But I guess he goes Gunblade. I mean, the stats didn't hate it.
Another Stoneplate. I guess Crown Guard's pretty good too, right?
I think it's Crown Guard because you don't plan to solo frontline him the whole game. And eventually, you start putting units here as well, like your Galio, your Sejuani. So I think Crown Guard is better. I don't know how the stats, like how good Poppy's AP scaling is. I would need to look through this.
Crown
The
Guard
stats to
and
make-
Vow have the best vest stats.
Let's look at Poppy.
I'm on the comps page if you just
Crown Guard and
filter
Vow.
vest.
Oh, gotcha.
But you could type in vest here.
Yeah,
too.
I do chain vest here, and then it's Crown Guard and Vow. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for Crown Guard then if the stats don't hit, because there's some units that Crown Guard is just bad on. It's like one of the items that I feel like you really need to search in general, just because if you don't have their AP scaling memorized.
Yeah, her buckler scales with decent amount of AP.
Oh, really? I thought it was just armor,
Oh no, it's
but
both.
I guess it's both. Oh, gotcha.
Sunfire Cape.
I don't know what percent
Oil, Crown
the
Guard,
AP, but
Guard.
yeah, it's both.
He was another gargoyle, which is interesting to me. The stats like second gargoyle though. More actually likes it more than Crown Guard. So
Should I save my rolls when people sell their Poppies on their boards or what?
oh, it's actually a fair consideration because now his rolls don't even do much for him, right? Like on 3-3 through 3-6, so he's considering saving them,
Yeah.
which I think
Oh.
is good. Potentially
Also,
good optimization.
double Stoneplate here makes more sense with the Radiant Life Blade.
Oh yeah, true. There's so much resistance, and then you just truly solo frontline for this stage.
Mhm.
Yeah, the shield is kind of wasted, right? The Crown Guard shield
Yeah.
wastes the healing, or you don't heal the Poppy. I like that. That's actually a pretty big consideration.
Like if he didn't have
Lose,
Stoneplate, then the Crown Guard makes more sense.
Yeah, he lost by a lot here. This guy rolled to 10 gold. What is this guy? Oh, it's Appies.
Oh, Appy's in his last YouTube video was saying he's gonna experiment a ton with Vagar.
Vagar Shyvana. I mean, he has
Vagar Elise. Yeah, Nitro Vagar Elise.
Oh, Vagar Elise. I don't think it's bad.
Because the Dynamo
He does have good. He has
gives-
very good augments for it.
Yeah. I'm curious what placement Appy's will end up in this game.
I think his spot is not very good, right? He rolled to 10 gold. So like
Yeah.
rolling 10 is just he missed, right? He's Starry Knight and he just hit
Yeah,
10 gold.
yeah.
So I wouldn't imagine his placement is good here. What we're already through item both units. Probably Rod then for
Yeah, move
um
for Death Cap.
yeah, for Death Cap. You could also try to go for Shiv, but that would be Tier, I think, right? I think there's a possibility Tier is better because Tier can be Shiv and can be Archangel. And Archangel might be better when you have Radiant Gunblade.
Yeah.
What did he take? He already took his item.
So
What does he say?
Probably take 4-cost Rod over 2-cost Tier.
Yeah, I think so.
Not play this line. Wait, how many fucking he giga missed Vagar though?
Yeah, the tough
Yeah, he's
part
saying,
with
he's saying the same thing.
what do you say?
He's saying the same thing about Appy's spot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, and he's on 1 tier and he's trying to win now. He's not gonna get that blue buff. I guess he could just
Yeah.
slam Shojin.
He giga missed Vagar though.
He giga missed Vagar, yeah, is what he's saying. Yeah.
It's Shiv on Elise, and we have Gigabis on everything.
Okay. Is he rolling already? I guess he. Oh, that's
Got Sedge 20.
insane. Sedge over to that. Yeah.
Alawi 2. I'm pretty sure Alawi 2 is better than Sejuani.
Agreed. Ilawi is so broken.
All right.
Just he heals so much.
And gives you shred. I feel like
Oh yeah, I forget about that.
yeah, it's because I was
Is it
looking
magic
at
shred?
data TFT. It was actually saying that for early game anima,
Player.
Alawi's shred is about equivalent to an ionic spark in
Sejuani
value.
seems really competitive this lobby.
Wait, really?
That's
Oh,
what it
I
said in
don't
the
know.
tip page. I didn't actually do the math.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Reduce magic resist. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, I need to start thinking about that as well. I never considered that.
Especially for this line, it's very relevant.
Still has
Yeah,
actually, the
yeah,
bottom-
yeah. And it's flat. It's flat shred, which is good with Elise as well. They both just flat
Oh
shred
yeah, the
your-
combo of them. Yeah. Archangel. Oh, but we also want Void Staff, right?
Yeah, is it not JG then? JG.
JG's so bad in the stats though.
Isn't it not bad because this probably gives a lot of AP, right? Radiant Gunblade
Okay, I guess
probably
it's
gives
not
like 50
horrible.
AP.
I think it's JG. Go for Shiv.
Yeah.
But just because you have a lot of AP from
Radiant.
yeah, the Radiant. I remember. Even Blue gives some AP.
Oh shit! I'm back.
I think given his HP, it makes sense to roll here. Like there are some scenarios I think where you can just not even roll. You just level and you just find it along the way. If you had like 80 or 90 HP, I wouldn't be down to really
I think it's JG. Go
How
for
many
roll for
copies would you do that with? Be willing to do that with? Like just 2 more copies you would not roll?
It's kind of hard to say as well. Like here, I guess if I think if I was but then you're just one off. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say exactly. It would be like I think
it's
2 off
JG,
is like
go
the
for it.
precise scenario where I would be down. Like here. Yeah, if I had like 80 or 90 HP, I'm not rolling for this Poppy. But at this HP, I'm super down.
Although isn't part of the argument that like this is the stage of the game that you should be attempting to win and be strong? Because even if
No,
have
you win the
80
game. You win the game with this comp. This is a win out comp. If you get to Aurora 2 and Renekton 2,
Oh, okay.
you win the game. Yeah, I don't think this comp has a low cap. In tournament as well, like there are people winning with it pretty. Like it had pretty good win rate, if I'm not mistaken. We can verify that, but I'm pretty sure the win rate was pretty good.
Okay.
I saw Soju win with it twice, and yeah, I remember the stats being good.
Oh, side this for now.
Oh, he went.
Oh, what?
Wait, he went Archangel? I thought he was just saying JG. Did he
I guess I'll
explain why?
Salvager.
Oh, he has
Salvager.
salvage. He has
This for now.
salvage. Yeah, that's why. I like that. This is a good optimization here.
Cause like Sedge might not cast, and like pretty sure healing orbs is better, right?
What do you like here?
My initial eye check was bulky. But I heard him say healing orbs. But we already have healing, right?
I think healing orbs is so busted in this comp. The times I've taken first with this recently, and I feel like healing orbs is just so broken.
It's like fixed, right? Like if we just do the math, doesn't bulky just give you more HP? Like everyone gets 100, which and then 10% max health shield, so you're gonna have at least 4 units on the board get that. And how much HP does like Poppy have?
But then you have to position. It's just now you're having to.
So this is the same thing as the LDP thing.
Yeah, like it can really fuck up your positioning.
But doesn't
and
Poppy
this,
have like 3,000 HP? Poppy 3, like or 2,500 or something? Like that's already
10% is that's still not even that much, right? It's like compared if you just kill 3 units, it's already more.
okay.
I guess there's the rest of your board as well, which definitely matters. But yeah, I mean, I can 100 HP every unit, and then like what is this? 250 more in Poppy. If assuming Poppy's 2,500 HP, so that's 350 if you kill 2 units, it's already more, right? Assuming they both go on Poppy, which is not guaranteed. But if you're same side with Morgana, it oftentimes
Yeah,
will be.
that's true. And you're usually trying to put Poppy outside. Okay.
Yeah. It also helps your Morgana like randomly solo like 3 units in the end of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
The shield is also not good with Actually, it's not true. As long as your Poppy is not full HP, the shield is fine with the Gunblade healing.
I don't know what's better here actually. Healing orbs and bulky buddies are both really good, I think. But I'm pretty sure healing orbs is better, right? What's better, guys? Healing orbs or bulky buddies?
Classic. The classic Robin asking chat even though he knows the answer. He knows what he wants to do. It's like
10% max shield.
Yeah. Not the answer. He knows what he wants to do, but good engagement. Okay, and the game plan is just you can either jam a level on 4-5 and try to find Dynamo, or you can also just 6 Bastion right on 4-5. What is this guy saying, dude? Yeah, you just drop Elise on level 8.
Yeah. Then we want what? Chain vest?
We want bow, right?
We have
a
for
forger.
MF. Oh.
Yeah. No, for Shiv. Void
Right.
staff. Got it. Yep. And then now you probably gun JG, but
Maybe we wait so that we can.
there's like a tiny chance you definitely have to win every fight. But if there's like if there's like a small chance you fight someone that's so weak, then maybe, but it's so unlikely. You almost certainly need 3 item here. Holy shit, that guy's scary. But this is why I don't like the stone plate so much. You're not even getting the value out of it, right? But maybe you will. Once the Sejuani dies, I guess you still will eventually. So yeah, like you get it now, I guess. Oh god, this guy's scary as well. He missed his Vex. Is he going for? I don't even know what he's going. Oh, he's going for Urgot. Trait tracker. Oh, he didn't level. That's interesting to me. Why didn't he level here? Would you have level here? 5 streak? 6 Bastion?
Probably, but maybe he scouted and wait, can we stop on those? Well,
yeah, let's see what he says.
The Zed guy we just lose to, right?
Yeah.
I should have held the cyber boss to level here, probably.
Oh, cyber boss.
Interesting. So he's just not
over.
down to drop. He's just not down to drop 3 Dynamo. I don't know if I agree with that because 3 Dynamo is such a small buff over 2.
This guy blocked last time is 2 HP.
Wait, how is he healing? Does he have the healing augment? I assume so.
Or at least 1 carry, I mean.
Yeah, he's healing every turn. He has the I forget what it's called. Vampiric. Yeah, he has Vampiric.
This guy probably won the game, right? 400 cash out, last stand with Vampiric Vitality. It just shoots. It shoots here. I guess I fucked up my positioning. It was Wiz positioning. I should position like this.
Okay.
So he likes cyber boss here over 6 Bastion.
I don't know. He likes 4 Bastion over 6, which I'm also not sure is true. But I think when you have backline items like this, then it makes more sense. When you have no backline items, like if for whatever reason your shred, which sometimes will happen depending on the game, is Sunfire Spark, then I'm more so down for 6 Bastion, I think. It keeps your Sunfire Spark alive, and your Elise isn't even doing anything anyway.
Try to go open belt.
Sterax?
Yeah, I think Sterax Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morello, Even Shroud, Sterax. Passion over MF Jin, right?
Oh, he's saying it now.
I think 6
okay,
Bastion.
it's 6 Passion over MF Jin, right?
Yeah, especially with this Radiant
Yay or nay?
Gunblade.
He's probably just waiting for the upgrades, maybe. I mean, Galio 2, Shyvana 2 would make it a lot better. Or he just does it. He just does it. Yeah. Okay. And he drops his cyber coil, but it's fine because
when I didn't need to.
because Elise is better.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure I roll every turn for. I have 3 pairs here. Like I actually have to roll every turn.
Why is he putting his Sedge naked outside? You want to just die? Like, don't we want to protect the Sedge more?
That's what I would think as well. I don't know with 6 Bastion if that's different, but there's a cast here against the Ghost. I mean, it's getting hit by a bunch of 1-star units. 1-star Renekton. Does this Sedge cast? It's gonna be close. It didn't cast. Yeah, I'm not down for what he's doing. It could have been fight diff.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not fight diff, but it definitely matters.
Saves a bunch of HP.
He's greeting to go 3 Dynamo. I'm also kind of not down for this. I feel like I'd be down to just roll, but okay. To be fair, he only has 2 pairs now. Okay, never mind. He only has 2 pairs. I thought he had 3. Lost to Appies.
Oh,
What happened to Appie's spot?
yeah, he's first right now. He hit everything.
Yeah, he got to everything. Let's see how he does. I mean, it looks strong here.
He even got
Robin
a
is-
Poppy 3.
Oh, wait. I didn't see that. Damn.
Poppy 3 with a Crown Guard. I mean, that's probably also doing work.
Okay, he has really good items now. Aurora.
And now we take out 6 Bastion? Or no, keep...
We also have MF too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's...
Is Aurora over Jin and throw in the MF? For more damage? Oh, but we want the Cyber Coil. So Aurora over Elise, throw in the MF? Although we just did this... Wait, did we just look at the stats on that?
I think I'm down for Cyber Boss and 4 Dynamo and drop out of 6 Bastion. Mostly because MF is upgraded, and then oh, but like then how are we? Oh, huh. But yeah, it's kind of hard.
I feel like the 6
Drop-
Bastion has so much value with this Radiant Lifeblade. And healing orbs.
I am kind of down to drop Ilawi and Shyvana, assuming I hit the Galio too. It would be Ilawi first, and then I'd actually probably drop Elise. Drop Elise with 3 items on Aurora, because these items are like better on Aurora in the sense that she spreads both the Void Staff and the Morello better, and then you play MF and Jin. You could not sell the Elise, I guess, and I think you need the gold though, and throw in the Elise, but I would just throw in the second guy. But he likes the now we have Kabuko. Oh, he just sells that. Okay, interesting.
Okay, so he's just gonna place. Okay.
Yeah, he just doesn't care about the Cyber Coil, which I don't know how much I agree with it, but I mean, Elise is way better than Jin, but I think that Elise and Aurora with these items are like close enough that I'm down to just keep the Cyber Coil.
Given that we said earlier that Appi's spot sucked, like
Hopefully I don't die.
looking pretty good.
Yeah, maybe the line is good. I'm not to look at his scores.
Oh god, this said.
Wait, does he survive this?
Oh.
Wait, the Morgana's healing back up.
Oh,
No.
drain tanking. Oh my god.
What? It's back to full. I thought he was dead here.
Wow. Like, he still doesn't win.
Healing orbs.
Wait.
Healing orbs.
Okay.
He's alive. 1.
That was a
Not
good
2.
fight.
Okay. We're alive. Who do I suck? Nobody? Gallo needs to be in the corner. Sejuani needs to be in the corner.
I like Galio on the edge, and then I wouldn't put Sedge on the edge here. I'm surprised he's like not opening up the Poppy. Like, I would do like Sedge like here or here, Galio edge,
Yeah.
and Shyvana just like wherever.
Yeah.
Like not front row.
The standard anti-sedge positioning.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah,
Like here, the Galio here would
Sedge is
CC
just dying
the
every time. Yeah.
yeah, the Galio here would CC the Vex.
Okay.
Mhm.
Dodge Sejuani. This guy's going fast 9. Poppy correct side.
Oh, he beats us.
Surely I win this.
Quite
Surely I win
likely,
this.
right? Wait. Yeah, he beats this. This guy's sitting on a lot of gold.
Okay.
Oh, the guy died. The Z guy died.
Masterfully played. Masterfully played TFT.
Is there not a chance that I feel like Sterax Renekton have him eat Jax is
Exotech
better
Bastion played Zeri MF with Flux.
because the Renekton does a lot of damage.
This guy trade trackered. Probably won the game.
And go for a Renekton item.
Even out on Renekton 1.
Yeah, I think so. Because you're eating the stats of Jax 3, right?
Renekton 2. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it.
Okay, now definitely, yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, definitely.
LW.
Yeah, I guess. Not that good, but whatever.
Wait, eat Morgana?
That's fine as
Dude,
well.
I heard Rabadon was good.
It actually is the most EHP, right? If we're talking true HP,
Yeah.
because eating a Jax is eating into your 6 Bastion HP. This is eating into your
Mhm.
backliner HP, which is really good.
Should I go Rabadon?
Is there a big AD difference, you know, off the top of your head between the two? I assume
I would think
there is.
I would think it's a big AD difference, but I don't know what it is. I would assume
Yeah.
it's big because these AP units tend to have very low base AD.
Yeah.
What's the AP scaling?
Wait,
It looks pretty good.
doesn't it scale more
lot.
with AP?
It
What?
looks pretty good.
No, it's way better with AP. Am I missing something?
Well, I mean, this is only multiplied off 100, right? This is multiplied off your base AD,
Oh, okay.
right?
But any incremental AP you get gives more damage to Renekton than incremental AD.
Any more incremental? Oh, it is. Doesn't it just? It depends on the base AD, right? Like if the base AD is like 1,000,000, it would be more.
Or yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about the difference, I guess, between eating Morgana versus Jax. Or I feel like
Eating
this
Morgana
is-
versus. You're saying that Sorry, what are you saying?
So his spell scales with AP more than AD, which
Does Overlord eat the AP? I don't think it eats AP.
Oh, right. Yeah, it just eats.
I'm pretty sure it
AP.
only
Okay.
eats HP and AD. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, but is Rabadon's really better than LW here?
I'm
That
not
can't
sure.
Be right. That can't be right, right?
I don't think Last Whisper is that amazing either, but I'm down to see.
That seems completely. I would have never considered that.
Bro, this guy took Ascension.
The stats aren't that good on Rabadon. Yeah, I am surprised about that. I don't know why he took Death Cap over Last Whisper. I don't think Last Whisper is amazing,
How
but
are you
I think it's
taking
better.
Ascension, bro. Okay, honestly, it was Ascension plus forward thinking. That's why, right?
By the way, I was looking at Appy's scores, and he got first in that game.
He did. Damn. Wait, our scores have his scores been good?
How did I? Miss
He's only played 2 games today with it, 1 and 5. But you could argue that the 5th he was, you know, trying to play around with it. He did say he was going to try to experiment with it a lot.
I mean, it was a new high score game, so maybe it also helped. I think it was one of the augments. I don't know if it's new high score or the other one, but yeah, he did go first. Yeah. Any main takeaways from this game? I think I may have to call it after this one.
Okay. I think at 3-1, the point around, I would have stopped usually at just after getting the 2 stars and above. I mean, I would go dip under 50, but I would not have considered the kind of finding the next in. I definitely would be willing to roll to like low 30s, but usually I would just stop. So I think specifically the point about next in plus having higher odds, I think that was an insight for me. What else?
Yeah, I think just making sure you're thinking about your 3-1 roll down is not just for copies, it's for your board strength on stage 3. And you have to determine, is your board good to play stage 3? And that doesn't just factor in, it's 5 units, right? You have to make sure you have a good 5-unit board on 3-2. So it's another like thing about your 3-1 roll down should not be autopiloting to just your units, your 4 units that you're trying to hit. Make sure you're also thinking about what 50 unit are you playing here. And if you find you're not going to find a 4 cost, but like if you find a Mordekaiser, you should be buying that right on this roll down. Like a Jin plus Mord. If you don't, sometimes you don't find Elise, right? You should always have in mind what your 5th unit can be in all your 1 cost reroll comps, and make sure you're not skipping them. If you are okay with making a Mordekaiser 2, which I don't know if you are, but in some games maybe you are, then maybe you're Poppy 1. You want to stop on Mordekaiser 2 randomly, you find you can also do that. If you have like corrupted chassis, right?
Yep.
But yeah, the roll down on 3-1 is no different than a roll down on a 4-1. You're also still just you plan to be strong stage 3, and so you're meant to roll until you have a board. You're not just rolling for copies.
Yeah. And then I think the whole augment discussion around both LDP and bulky buddies. I think I'm not considering enough the negative impact of how certain comps want to be played. I think I'm usually just considering those augments just like relative to other augments, and not really thinking about like, oh, this comp specifically is very positioning, have like your positioning matters a lot, and so then those augments decrease in value significantly. I don't think I'm really consciously considering that, so I think that's also a big learning for me.
Oh yeah, you must. The best examples are besides Poppy, like Zed. You can't really take LDP in Zed lines, right? Like assuming you're like primary carry Zed, or one of your primary carries is Zed, because you have to put him in A3 or A5, right?
Right.
Even though he has a lot of AD from Slayer, and you might want to give him AD from Senna 3. I mean, maybe if you're like Senna 3, Z3, and you mostly care about Senna, then you're down. But I think it's less common that you're down.
Like I've taken bulky with Zed as well, and it feels super awkward. But yeah, because then in the times that I have picked bulky, I have my a tank in the middle, and then I'm like trying to swap sides is extremely hard, or I just put Zed's second row, but then he takes longer to like get up and then go to the corner.
Yeah, I think you're still down to take it even with those annoyances, but now that when you have trade-offs with other augments that are good, then it's just a factor you have to consider, right? Yeah. Like if these are his options, but left was I don't know, max cap. You can't get max cap. Some trash. You still take this over some trash, right? But it's not like I'm saying LDP is a never take. It's just something you have to factor in. That it's like minus points, right? For fucking up your positioning.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I would make sure you don't. Oh, I mean, it depends if you believe me or Grey's take. My take, Grey's take. Grey is outperforming me in tournaments, is said by a lot. So maybe has a better read than I do. But I don't think of this as a bad augment, assuming you are playing reroll. If you are not playing reroll, then I think it's bad. That's where maybe he prefaces comment with that. I'm not sure. You did say he said if you're 1v9ing, and I think reroll is almost like a proxy for that. Assuming you're playing a reroll comp that is like a team, that is like a individual unit carry. Like I think Gorilla probably factors into is a little bit less so of a solo carry, because you typically like want items in all 4 units, mostly 3 units, 4 units being brand as your 4th unit. And so it's sort of a team carry, but I think the Morgana comp is a lot more of a solo. It's like a dual carry, right? It's like Poppy and Morgana.
Yeah, the spot that we were VOD reviewing was Elise Braum reroll, so I was taking it to upgrade Radiant Stoneplate for Braum, and he made that comment.
Interesting. It depends on your were you Braum 3? Or were you like...
I was not Braum 3s, and I was contested Braum, so that may...
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not down in that case. I'm not down, because your Braum is not that impactful.
Yeah. I think I might have ended up hitting Braum 3, but I think I actually did end up hitting Braum 3, I want to say, and but he still made the argument that even if I hit Braum 3, he would still hold that same like perspective.
I think if you're close to Braum 3, I'm down, but like it also depends on what other options you had? Do you remember what other augments you?
I don't remember the other options, but I do remember that right side was also double gold, I believe. And he was basically saying he would almost like he was implying that in like 80 or 90% of scenarios he would take the double gold over the radiant refactor. Like he would basically need perfect like or like basically the right side would need to be like absolutely horrible for him to even consider the radiant refactor
Radiant
on the left side.
Interesting. So then, given that logic, I wonder. It depends if he considers this comp as fitting his description of a 1v9, in case it's a 2v9, or if he would consider. Because if not, then I think he would take right here. But I don't know. But I do agree with his take on radiant refactor in the sense that if it's not like a 1 or 2v9, I am down. And I would think that a Braum 2 never fits that description, and a Braum 3 can sometimes. It's not a 1v9, but it matters a lot. But I guess the fact that you're far from Braum 3, I think you will feel like you're down on Prismatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
Because that comp is a team comp, right? It's Elise, Aurora. Ideally, you have Kubuko coming in off bench. It's MF. Your tank is Braum for a little bit. Ideally, eventually, it's Zach too. So like there's so many things that matter more than just your Braum items.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cool. Any other takeaways?
I think that point in the game where he had the anvil, he had a vest on Poppy. I think I was able to come to the conclusion afterwards why he slammed the second stone plate, or because of the radiant gunblade, but I don't think I like saw that before.
Oh, me neither. I didn't see that either. Yeah. I don't know if that was his reasoning, but I didn't see that. And I think that reasoning is very valid.
Yeah, I think that's another scenario where I would just look at the stats kind of, and I guess this is the equivalent of looking at augment stats, but for item stats, where I'm just like looking at it in a vacuum and not really considering like this specific situation as much.
Yeah. Oh, there's one other one. You didn't like you seem to just not be down for JG like ever.
Oh yeah.
You didn't want to make like you just refused to make JG, which I think is pretty bad. Because his glove is basically like kind of almost dead. It's gonna be like TG or I don't even know what if you refuse to make.
I think in game I probably would. I also didn't see Archangel here, but yeah.
The I think the salvage one is a little less is not as I also sort of missed this salvage or Archangel. I think it's good, but I think in general like it should be pretty clear this is JG because you need the shred.
Yeah. I'm looking at the stats now and JG's not that bad. I think before there was one point I was looking at the stats for JG versus Death Cap and it was like I think it was like a plus 0.5 diff, whereas now it's only like a plus 0.15 diff.
Oh, I think I mean this is hard to really say how much this captures what we really want, but like the query here you could do is like, would you rather have not JG but have no shred, or have JG with shred? Right, that's basically your comparison here. Like, assuming you don't get the shred, we're saying Death Cap on Morgana, right? On Morgana, but you have no Shiv or. I mean, this is gonna be like a sort of fake to some degree, but like effectively, you would have no shred, none of these, right? Either of these.
I assume that part of the data will probably be skewed by.
Oh, you're running through the bug right now. Is this your live data live search bug?
Maybe. Or there might just be no sample for this. Wait.
That sounds impossible.
Okay,
I think
it is the bug.
The site is down. Yeah, site is down, or something about the Explorer is down. Okay.
I think I'm also using the app. When I use the app, I get like there was an error type thing. Maybe I should try using the.
It's back. Yeah, sometimes the item filter is weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's back now. So now if I do Spark, Ionic Spark, sure, whatever. Let's exclude this as well. Void Staff. And I don't know what the Void Staff Radiant is. Whatever. Let's just assume that it's low sample size. If you exclude these, this is a 4.48, right? And then I'll just remember the number 4.3. And if we do what was it? I wanted to do JG.
Although part of it may be that there's like an extra item. I don't know if that's
Jewel, Gauntlet, Morgana. And yeah, the thing is, the issue is you were not able to normalize by. Well, we can do level 9. Let's try to use our filter right from earlier. Fix level 9. Okay, JG. Let's do the earlier one. So it's not JG, Death Cap, but the rest are off. 3.1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we do JG, but we
Void
do
Staff.
turn on. Let's do Void Staff. Oh,
Okay.
it is an extra item though. To be fair, in your defense, it's an extra item. This also shows the difference between Void Staff and Spark, which is obvious. That's the Void Staff is better, but
By the way, for Void Staff, do you know if it applies like for Brand? Does it apply the shred for the initial cast?
Data TFT seems to say it doesn't. I haven't looked into it, but if you believe Data TFT tips, which I do, but I would like to verify, but I haven't. They say it doesn't.
Do you remember? I feel like this was the same analysis for Varus from set. I forget which. It's like 2 or 3
Last
sets ago.
Whisper doesn't apply. Yeah, Last Whisper does not apply on
Okay.
On the cast. Yeah.
Okay, so presumably it'd be the same then. So,
Yeah.
but if that were true, then is Spark better for Street Team and Brand then? Like Varus, even Shroud was better, right? Because of that
but you
reason.
don't. Yeah, but you don't really want to put Void Staff on Brand anyway, right? You could put it on, I don't know, Ziggs.
But then that's not going to be as consistently applying it to the Brand's targets, right? Like because it's only 3 seconds. Like, how much uptime will you have with Void Staff versus Spark?
I guess that's true.
I mean, we could look at the stats here, right?
Yeah, true. I would still think it's Void. I just don't like Spark in general, and Sunfire. Is that reflected by the thing? Now I'm curious by this. 7 Diamond plus. Where's Spark on here? Spark is here.
They're pretty
They're like
close.
the same. They're like on the line. Maybe Void Staff's even a little lower.
Although it probably is heavily dependent on the type of unit, right? Like Annie is great with Void Staff because especially with Amp, her mana is so low that she has like 100% uptime on spreading it. Whereas I feel like Ziggs's mana pool is what, 50? So it might also depend if you have like blue buff on Ziggs.
I mean, it also applies on your autos, but I guess you're only autoing one unit, right?
Yeah. Especially for a unit like Brand that's hitting so big AoE.
I will say Ziggs cast is gonna come way before Brand's cast, right? 50 versus Brand's especially if you have Void Staff, which gives AS and mana. This first cast.
But also, if it's too fast, it might like go away in the 3 seconds before Brand casts as well.
Is it only 3?
Yeah, it's only 3 seconds.
Oh, sure. Let me check.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it is only 3.
How long is Last Whisper? Is it also 3? Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same item now, basically. Yeah. Okay. Let's look.
I mean, are there any other AP carries that this kind of applies to? Like Brand is basically like the AP equivalent of Varus from that set, right?
What about Vex Varus?
Yeah. I mean, more so applied to Varus, right? Because Vex is just gonna hit if it's single target like Aphelios, like you can kind of just put the shred holder right next to the
I'm
carry.
saying like Vex Varus comp Spark versus Void Staff. It's like on the comp itself. I would assume Void Staff is better, but you're seeming to imply that like Spark has more uptime and hence might be better.
I would say that my hypothesis would be that the diff is going to be larger in Brand than it is for Vex Ferris.
Oh, I see. Let's see.
Because Brand does so much more splash than Vex. And Varus does do splash, but like if you think about the damage output of the two combined, I would think that Spark would be better in Brand. Or the difference between the two would be smaller in Vex Varus.
So here in Brand, oh, you might be right. In Brand, why is the place change whatever AVP? Let's use AVP. One thing that Guthers said is that place change is potentially a more faulty stat to some degree because you're combining two stats. Then again, like this is weird. This is showing like a larger.
That would be true for smaller sample size, right? If this is 400k, I assume it's okay.
Oh, I guess if you believe the upper and lower bound, or sorry, this is place change. Yeah, if you believe the delta, the stats of that range. But interesting that the placement here is the AVP is lower for this. Okay, okay, and then we have for.
Can we just filter 7 Street Team in there too, just to like really make sure?
Yeah, I'm not doing my games thing. Okay.
And actually, after you did that, I think Spark looks better.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, they like reset the filter when you.
Oh, Spark is better. Okay, and then if we go to Vex Varus. I didn't have an item filter in the previous one, so let's just keep it consistent. Vex Varus Mord. Sure. Sedge. Games. This is the board, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was some 4 Dynamo I saw in there. Although I guess there are scenarios.
What? Really?
Oh, right there that you just passed it. Dog poo poo game, Diamond.
Oh, this one. Oh, it's just Dynamo Crest. It's still the board though. It's still the board. Okay. Oh, they played an MF, interestingly enough. But yeah, it's basically the board. There's a Zeri one in here. Oh, it excludes Zeri. Like, whatever, man. Like, get this unit out of here. Okay. Items. Spark Void. Okay, it is sort of showing what you're saying. Void Staff is better here, both on placement change and AVP by a little bit, and then
it's also not as bad as I think your qualitative or my interpretation of what you were saying was like Void Staff is significantly better.
I thought that as well, but I guess this is saying not. So I'm wrong in that regard. Yeah, and here's showing it looks like almost the same, but
whereas I assume can you maybe do this same filter for Strat Amp Annie? I assume for Annie specifically, it's going to be way better for Void Staff.
Let's see. This is the board. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're a genius. So you're saying that because she casts more and she hits a lot of units, it's more uptime.
Yeah, specifically because of the 3-second thing, and she has AOE on her thing, whereas like I guess Ziggs has AOE, but you don't guarantee that it's gonna splash onto the same target as Brand, and it might Ziggs might cast too early, and then the 3-second expires. Whereas like yeah, with Annie, she's like the perfect fit for it, and she's shredding her own target.
Yeah, I guess you also don't really want that many frontline items in this comp, I think. Whereas, like, you're fine with 2-item frontline for a lot of the game. Whereas, in the other comps, you're not. And so I think the Spark is surviving a lot more, I think. Whereas Spark here goes on like Nico or a Zach 1 for a lot of your game, which you're not that happy with. Whereas Void Staff is on your main unit. It's a very efficient item, where in this comp where you need like 1 million items.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Good enough.
Hopefully that helps you win Cup 3.
Oh, I got you. If it does, 100% credit in this. I mean, this is super useful for sure. Good to know. Good stuff.
All right.
All right, man.
Cool.
Hopefully
Talk to you later then.
Got a lot out of the session. Yeah, catch you later.
Good session.
Good luck with your Smurf games, which you don't need luck for.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Catch you later. Peace.